Let's Talk ADHD with Alex High. And today, Stuart Cohen. Stuart and I connected, I think, about a year ago for a project he was working on. Now he's helping me out. So he interviewed me. Now I'm interviewing him. It's reciprocal. So, Stuart, welcome.
Thank you, Alex. I'm really happy to be here. Thank you.
Good. Yeah. Thanks for coming. To start, Stuart, what is your ADHD story?
My story started, of course, when I was really young, but I didn't know. I when I was 47 years old, 13 years ago. I'm 60. And it was a combination of a stop life moment and a start life moment. So what I mean is I was sort of in a state of shock, like I couldn't move forward until I understood what the past, basically, Alex. So what happened was after my divorce, I started dating a lady long distance. I'm in New York, Long Island. She's in Memphis, Tennessee. And we start dating, and it turns out she has four boys, two of whom, the twins, were diagnosed with ADHD young. And I tell you that because I don't know, many months into our relationship, she said to me, "You ought to get tested for ADHD." I was like, we were on a walk. I remember it, right? It's those sharp emotional moments of highs and lows that always stay here. I'm like, why? Really? And she went on, and she was very kind and not judgmental, more as a matter of factly. So when I went back home, I did. Went through the testing process with a local physician, and he basically gave me a prescription for methylphenidate, Ritalin. And as I like to say, he said, don't call me in the morning." What I mean by that is he didn't say, "Hey, call me in a week, call me in 2 weeks, call me in a month. Let me know. How does it feel? We want to make sure it's the right dose. We want to make sure it's the right medication for you." Now, of course, now I know how important that is for your prescriber to follow up with you, because so many of us could end up getting the wrong prescription, the wrong dosage. In any case, 8 years went by until I finally realized I need to know more.
Hmm.
I need to understand the quirkiness. Basically, I call it the mystery of me. I literally called it that. So I went on a silent retreat, which those who know me would laugh, because Stuart, silent? Are you kidding? But I was by myself. So we went to our lake house, and it was just me and a notebook. And it poured out, man.
Hmm.
It poured out everything about my quote unquote broken track record holding a job 22 years in the travel and hospitality industry. Loved it. However, worked for 11 companies. Do the math. Half the time I left because I got bored, wanted something new and exciting to increase my position and salary, which I did. And half the time I was let go.
Hmm.
And then finally, the last time I was let go, I said, "That's it. I got to be on my own. I can't. I'm not a very good team player. I don't like people telling me what to do." So at that silent retreat, I poured it out in my notebook, poured it out, deeply emotional, huge period of reflection of my professional life and my personal life.
Hmm.
And I sort of wrote down these words. It sort of ended on these four words: ADHD as a skill set.
Hmm.
Because I'm like, it's time for me to understand what I'm really bad at and what I'm really good at, because I know I'm really good at stuff. I mean, I'm a professional speaker. I built businesses. I know what I'm good at, and I know it's just like horrifying to me, like numbers, math, paying a tip on a check. And then fast forward. So I start reading books, right? I start
Mhm.
typical, right? We've heard this before. I'm reading books and I'm watching stuff. I'm like, oh my God, they're writing about me. They're writing about me. That's me. Holy cow, there's other human beings on this planet who have the same brain as me. A couple of years later, pandemic hits. All my speaking business evaporated, right? Everything was canceled. Nobody was traveling. So I'm like, I, I'm going back to school. I want to be an ADHD life coach. And I did. And that really helped solve the mystery of me. That really helped me grow. And at the same time, offered me the truly amazing opportunity to help others
Mm.
and to join this community and not be a part of the problem, but be a part of the solution. And everyone I coach and every time I meet with others, I learn from their experiences. And I've realized this. I'm going to end my story because my story doesn't end, right? My story rolls out every day and will continue to roll out every day. My story ends with realizing that being in this community of ADHDers, being at the conferences, being a coach, and other stuff I'm working on ADHD Unshamed, which we'll mention that it's not just my passion,
Mm.
it's my purpose.
Mm.
It's 60 years old, a couple of years prior, really. I discovered my true north, as they say, my true purpose. And this is it. I wake up every morning with such joy. Can't wait to get to my desk to work. What can I do today? Can I make an impact? Can I make a difference? And can I live happily ever after? That's it.
Wow. I love that ending. Yeah. Can I live happily ever after? And so one thing I'm wondering as I hear your stories, you mentioned you wake up every morning with such joy. And I really like the word choice of joy because it's a little different than happiness. It's it's more of a state of mind rather than a fleeting feeling. So I'm wondering for so many people with ADHD have a co-occurring condition. Quite often it's depression. So if someone's not waking up with that sense of joy, what advice would you have for them?
First, I would ask questions. Why do you think? Is there something you wake up fearing? Is there something when you wake up that gives you anxiety? Are you getting a good night's sleep? Are you taking care of yourself and going to sleep at a good hour? Are you getting good nutrition? There's a lot of questions I'd ask so we can, and that's what coaching is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's get to the root. We don't go back to childhood. We don't do
Mm-hmm.
therapy. So you want to change the outcome of waking up in the morning and feeling bright and sunny and cheerful and hopeful and joy filled versus depressed, anxious, fearful, whatever it is. What is it that we fear? Is it showing up for work? Is it the work we do? Is it that we're uncomfortable because now it's time to mask again? I've got to go out in public. I've got a mask. I can't be me. Everyone I'm with at work, at play, friends, family, whatever, I'm faking it and I'm tired of faking it. Maybe that's it. Or maybe it's my partner. Maybe we're not communicating well. And my partner is frustrated with me and I'm frustrated with me. So we sort of get to the root of that and see how we can work through it. I do love what it's I guess it's known as ego state talk, ego state therapy. I'll give you an example. Picture a bus, a school bus, right? That's easy. And on that school bus is Alex, every Alex that's ever been, that is, and ever will be. Every personality, every joyful Alex, perhaps every rage filled Alex. I know I have a rage filled Stuart on my bus. Every Alex. And the question we ask ourselves is who's driving the bus today? Or Who's driving the bus this minute? Usually, if we're waking up and we're not feeling joyful, we're feeling less than, we're feeling we just want to stay in bed, then the steward that's driving the bus is looking to protect me. You stay in bed. It's dangerous out there. Why are you protecting me? Well, because these people are going to hurt you. They make you feel less than. You're not as good as them out there. You can't deliver. It's painful. And that's when we say, okay, hey, protective steward, go ahead and have a seat in the back there. We're going to put confident steward in the driver's seat for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, see how it feels. So we do work like that. But that's really how I would approach that, because it's there, it's within us. We just have to help put that person in the driver's seat.
Interesting. There is the idea that we can choose happiness, we can choose the joy, but I mean it's hard to accept that sometimes when you're feeling down. So if you could speak to that a little bit, of how do you go from I don't like this to, you know what I mean, I like this, but I'm going to be joyful about it.
Yes.
Making that
Yeah,
choice.
I agree. It's right. Wouldn't it be great if we could just flip a switch, push a button, boom, we're happy? Doesn't happen like that.
Hmm.
Neurodiverse or neurotypical, it just doesn't happen like that, really. So I ask myself this question: what's this really about? And I do that in coaching too. What's this really about? To get to the core of it. And then luckily I can see it on my board. I have this sort of these two sentences. I want to read them to you and for everybody to hear, because they're on my board, my pin board, so I can see it every day, because I get in a funk all the time. I can trigger in a nanosecond, right? I can go like this and I can go like this. And when I go like this, I know to take an intentional pause. What's this really about? And here's what I read out loud. Even though I currently have this issue, I believe that my desire to be free of it will allow me to be free of it. Its presence no longer serves me, and I choose to let it go. That's the choice. Instead of just simply choosing, I'm going to be happy today, I think we have to choose to let go of the stuff we ruminate on, the chatterbox in our head that convinces us we're not good enough, we're broken, we can't measure up, live up. That's the choice we have to consciously make, is to say that, hey, it's just like the driver on the bus. Hey, thank you, and note it, that right? It's called noting. Okay, noted. Thank you for trying to convince me that it's going to be going to this meeting is going to be really difficult, and I appreciate it. I'm going to be fine. That's the choice. The choice is to let go of the anxieties and break the ruminating chain, right? Because rumination, it typically with us, ADHD is with me, it's a spiral that only goes down.
Mm.
I can't ever remember having a successful rumination that draws a positive conclusion.
That's very relatable. I love how you mentioned that it only goes down, because that's my experience with rumination too. And I really liked when you talked about the pause. Earlier, we had a guy on this program, show, whatever you want to call it, David Gawork, and he's big on the pause. And so it was just really interesting to hear other someone else mention the pause. And when you're talking about the same thing, but a different person is saying it, you hear it in a different way. And so I like that perspective. So if you're watching this and you're getting trapped in that downward cycle of rumination, remember to pause. And I've found in my own life that it doesn't happen right away. It takes a little practice until you get better at taking that pause, and then you can take that bird's eye view of the situation.
I agree. And I'd like to throw something in here too, because wouldn't it be great if if we were able to do the intentional pause on a regular basis, right? Wouldn't it be great? It's and we can't, I think, I don't like putting that on my partner, on my friends, on my family. Hey, do me a favor. If you see me spiraling, if you see me ruminating, if I'm perseverating too, would you come and touch me and pause me? I don't want to put that on my wife, although she does. We have a love language that I give her permission when she sees me spiraling. She can touch me. She can take my hand. She can look me in the eyes. Say, what do you need from me? However, if we're alone and we want to try to grow, it's wonderful having people to support you. And I am a very visual thinker, as many of us are. So I like to have touchstones. I like to have like like that sign there. It reminds it's always there, right? If it's out of sight, it's out of mind. So I have objects that are in plain sight, all over the house that remind me that I can pause in the kitchen, in the den. I know it sounds crazy. It's a little thing. However, when I look at it, I immediately know that's there to remind me just to slow down, take it easy, and pause. And by the way, I'm an index card guy. I have index cards all over the house to remind me to take my glasses, keys, phone, and wallet when I leave the house. You know, people come over, they're like, really? You you need a sign on your door? I'm like, yeah, really? So that's just something I like to add on there is having a physical reminder, something that we can even touch can be very helpful
Mm.
for me.
That out of sight, out of mind thing is so key, I feel, because I don't want to say everyone with ADHD is a visual person, but it just seems like there's a large number of us with ADHD who, if we don't see something, we're not going to remember it. So I liked all the examples you gave of just what you see in your day that helps you. And so, what I'm wondering now, is there anything unusual that you put in your day or just naturally happens because of ADHD?
Yes, I try to make it possible a creative project somehow, some way. Creativity stimulates me. When I have to do a spreadsheet or I have to do an expense report for a client or my taxes, it's pain. However, I I break it down into little pieces. A little bit, victory, done. But during the day, I will set my phone alarm. I know some people don't favor that. I'm okay with it to remind me to get up, stretch, and to do some when I say exercise, movement. Let's call it movement. Like right there on the floor, I have one of these stretch bands.
Mm.
Okay. And I do a lot of habit stacking too, Alex. Like in the morning, when I open up my closet, the first thing I see is another of my stretch band. And that reminds me to do right there in the morning. So it's a habit stack, right? You do this, all at the same time, boom, done. I will take walks. I just got back to prepare to focus on our conversation. I'm like, I gotta shake the cobwebs out here. I'm going for a walk. I'm walking all the time. I go out for a walk. So I can't have a day where I'm sitting here the whole day, 9 to 5 or whatever. That's why I can never work in an office again. So I will break up my day. And one other thing that I will do is I will build in a project, a physical project. Give you an example. This morning, we wake up to find out we had no power. The power was out, right? Like, okay, I have coaching and I know I have methods just in case the power goes out and my computer crashes. Oh, I have backup plans because I've had everything happen. So I'm like, okay, here's what I'm going to do because I'm sort of upset about the power. I don't know when it's coming back on, and I don't want the power to come back on and to, fry my appliances, which has happened. I said, hey, I got new window screens. I picked them up yesterday. I'm going to go outside, clean the windows with a sponge, hose them down, and put the new screens in. So when I interject physical stuff that I enjoy doing. I love cooking. I'll pre-prep dinner. So if I can put something physical in, if it's a little yoga, if it's cooking, if it's going for a walk, then it sort of breaks up my day. And it's a whole, because I'm doing something with my hands, it's a different kind of creative process. I'm giving my brain like cool down. Because me, when I fix something or build something, whatever, um, I love it. So
Mm.
it really it shakes things up,
Mm.
and it works for me.
Yeah, I like the idea of shaking things up because, the ADHD brain is attracted to the new and the novel, the shiny thing, as it were. And just by doing different things throughout your day, you're creating that novelty.
Yes, it's not easy. I'm not, and everything I'm sharing with you, it doesn't mean I'm 100% successful every day. Because it's a marathon that never ends. There's no finish line. You just want to make it through the day happily. I honor the way it works.
Mm.
If we don't honor the way, so I've tried it the other way.
Hmm.
I've tried to force the square peg in the round hole. Muscle through it. Get your taxes done in one day. Don't get out of this chair until you finish it. Get it all done. No, no, no. I'm lucky because I work for myself, so I do have that play. And
Hmm.
I would hope that entrepreneurs, ADHD entrepreneurs who are listening, can also do that. However, if you work in whether you work at home or but you work for a company, is there any way you can shake it up a little bit? Honor the fact that you can't sit there for 30 minutes straight. Honor the fact that you need to get up, shake it up, do something physical, whatever it is for you that allows you to detach and attach here, even if it's for 5 minutes, 15 minutes. It's important to realize we can't rewire our brains. We can't say, okay, boom, my executive function is functioning fully. It just doesn't work like that. But we just learn how to play within our limitations. I don't mean that as a bad thing,
Hmm.
right? Limitations. I can just sit in this chair for so long, for instance. I can do numbers for so long. That's what I mean by limitations. Attention span, right? Focus.
Hmm.
And shake it up. Give myself the gift of going for a walk. And it's not hurting anybody. Even if I was working for somebody, I would hope I'd feel comfortable because I didn't back in the day saying, I need to stand up. I need to walk around this conference room table. I need to go get some air. I need something hot to drink or something really cold. Or I need an ice pack on the back of my neck. I need to take a cold shower. There's so many things I
Hmm.
can do to sort of wake things up, shake things up. But I honor it, man. Got to do that.
Yeah, I love that word honor. The way I have always said it is working with your brain, not against it.
Yeah.
But I really love that word honor. So, just going to throw this out there. What does the word honor mean to you?
Respect, love, like,
Mm.
work with, understand, all of the above. And I use the words like and love for a reason. Some of us don't like ourselves, don't love ourselves. Some of us like ourselves, but we don't love ourselves because we get so angry at ourselves. We disappoint ourselves. We are our harshest critics because we're typically really ambitious. So the word honor is also the word acceptance. Sometimes we have to say tolerate. I will tolerate this behavior that I'm feeling right now. Then it tolerate, then it could be acceptance, then it can be embrace, right? Wouldn't it be lovely
Mm.
if we can take something that we tolerate, which is almost unbearable, but I can deal with it, move it to the next level. I accept this about me and move it to this level. That's the goal, to embrace it. And I want to say this, Alex, that over these past few years, when I went through ADHD coaching school, the more people I meet with, going to the conferences, being with hundreds of other people I've never done before, it was amazing. I can look you in the eyes and say, you're sitting here talking to true Stu.
Mm.
You get true Stu. This is me. I'm not putting on an act, not putting on a show, not hiding anything. It's true Stu. And it feels good to be able to say that. It's liberating.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I almost want to end it there, but I don't want to end it there because you've got a business, multiple businesses, I believe. And if people want more Stuart Cohen, they want that in their life, where can they find you?
Thank you. So, but my coaching practice is ADHD as a skill set. That's my website. And from there, that could be a jumping off point for everything else. I'm also in the process of researching a book.
Mm.
It's going to be called ADHD Unshamed. Because even before I started reading books about ADHD and learning about it, becoming a coach, there was a lot of shame I had to deal with from my past. So I'm writing a book, ADHD Unshamed 100 ADHD Success Stories. You were kind enough to honor me with a conversational interview. I'm at like 67, almost at 100, and I love every single conversation I have with a wide variety of people. So if you're watching this, if you have a story to share, let me know. We'll talk, just like Alex and I are talking. We talk, share your story. Sometimes it's cathartic just to release, right? It's a beautiful feeling to say it. So that's ADHD Unshamed. And I also have a company called ADHD Travel Retreats because my background was in travel and hospitality. So I'm like, wait a minute, I can connect the dots between my former career, my new career. Boom, I woke up that morning saying, "Hun, wake up, wake up. Oh my gosh, this is so perfect. I can do it all." So we did an ADHD women's retreat in September of last year, which was 2023, in Jamaica, all inclusive. We've got a coaches retreat that you're coming to, and I'm so excited. We're going to be together in Denver. So that's another business. And I speak too, still in the travel industry. So I have a gig this weekend in DC. I have a
Wow.
gig in Florida in September. I have a gig on a cruise ship in November. I love having multiple portfolios and talking to different people about different things.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Again, ADHD as a skill set is his business. ADHD Travel Retreats is his business. He's a speaker in the travel industry. Stuart Cohen, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. This is wonderful.
And thank you for watching.